So my name is Sibran Bonsma. I really like Fabuland. It was a play team of the 1980s, so from 79 till 89, for kids from 4 to 7 about. And yeah, I was young, was the right age when it started, so I collected a lot during my childhood. And later on I got more and more and expanded. I got all the sets that were out, for something like 90 sets produced. I have all of them, and then I had so many bits and pieces that I started building in the same style. Because it's for kids, it are slightly bigger figures than minifigures. They have animal heads, so really animals, bright colors, large pieces, and very easy to build. So a car is just 5-6 pieces, a house is 10 pieces, and also the instruction booklets were already with stories, so the kids could play and build together.
Yeah, well, this is really cool. It's a very different kind of theme. You know, it definitely stands out with the bright colors and everything, like you were saying.
Yes. So I think that's a nice thing of these kind of events. You see that many different varieties of Lego and what people build with Lego, what they collect. And for me this stands out. This is very different from the Lego that's produced nowadays. It's all more realistic and it's beautiful, but I think this also attracts a lot for children.
Yeah, and you just want to take us through a few of your favorite parts. One thing I noticed here is the roofs. That seems like an interesting, it looks very different than a lot of Lego roofs you see, so how do those work?
Well, also those are big pieces, 4x6 knobs. Okay. You have them in a few colors. So you have grey roofs, which are pretty rare. They only came in one set. Green and red ones. They have a very nice detailed structure. Also the Duplo sets have these kinds, but then twice as large. And they have an underside, also a slope. You can take them apart, but usually they are fixed in the sets like they are. So these are the big pieces for the roofs. Makes it a bit difficult to build with it because you only have one type of roof. So you have to work it out, sometimes use some plates as well to make other structures to it. So the walls and doors, they are also big blocks. Let's take this one. So doors are 6x7 studs wide. Windows as well, they're just big blocks. Also here you have a few different window types. Round, more squarish, so I think there are 3 different types. And also here you don't have that much variability to build with. But that makes it interesting and also gives Fabuland its own look and own nature.
Right, yeah, that kind of bigger modular type pieces that puts it all together. So yeah, if you can talk about some more of the minifigs here, it's really interesting. What types of animals were there, and like were some of them rarer than others? Are there some that are harder to find?
So there are, I think, something like 90 different animals, sometimes really different on details. I think there are about 20 types of animals, like a lamb, a cat, a pig, etc. There are a few very rare ones. Filming right now one is a grey dog. It came in one of the first sets and one of the bigger sets. So you could not get hold of it very easily. Some other ones, especially the crocodiles, they came in very small sets and you have a lot of them. So those are pretty common. You also have a white goat. It should be somewhere on the display. Also that came in one set that was not sold very often. One interesting thing is there was one set which was sold in France. It's not exclusively in France, so it is really rare. The pieces are not too special, but it contains a cardboard 3D fold-out booklet, and that makes it special. And of course everybody wants to have that set and it's pretty rare, so it took me a long time before I found that one as well.
Now, are you've got train track running through here? Are the trains particularly Fabuland, or is that just kind of Fabuland pieces build up on, or were there?
No, there were no trains in Fabuland, but I like to have something moving on my display, so I tried to build a train out of it. There are more newer pieces. I used a number of fences for the canals. They are also much newer from 2000, but from style they fit very nicely to the Fabuland, so I put them also next to it.
And I like what is that you get kind of a recreation almost of the yellow castle there in the back. I like that.
Yes. Actually, I was challenged something like 10 years ago to build a castle because there was no castle from Fabuland, and I built a red one. And during the whole time it got a bit dirty, so I decided before I take it apart I built a new one, but then yellow to also a bit of the yellow castle of Lego. So,
yeah. And another really cool thing, I like your brick built kind of mosaic sign back there. That's really neat.
Yes. A friend of mine designed it, I think with the program or so I could just easily build it. It was a bit of a hassle to make sure that it stands up and does not fall down. I managed that also lately, so now it is nicely showing it's Fabuland. I also really like the sign. Before it was there, a lot of people were thinking it was Duplo because they don't remember Fabuland anymore. So then the kids think it's Duplo, and now with the sign it's at least clear it's something else.
Yeah. And were these road base plates, is that designed for Fabuland?
No. Also the rose base plates were from later on, I think from 2000. But also these fit very well. So the base plates from Fabuland were always green. And these roads have also a green area. And then with the nice yellow lining, it really fits in the same style. So when I found those, I also tried to get as many as possible to make a nice city out of it.
Right. Well, that's really impressive. I think this whole display is really cool. Thanks for talking with me about it.